Hello, my name is Juliana and welcome back to another episode of Tinker Tuesday and Thursday. Today I have a very special agenda for you today. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to survive the apocalypse. That's right. Today instead of doing software, we're actually going to do some hardware. I've brought here a Raspberry Pi. I dug this out. This is a Raspberry Pi 3. I think we're up to a Raspberry Pi 5 now. So it's a little bit older, but it should still work. So it's so old that it actually uses this cable, a micro USB. I've got this, an adapter, because what this runs on is a micro SD that sits over here. And we're going to be flashing an Ollama light on it. And after we flash, and it's connected to the internet, we will be able to speak to it directly. So yes, an entire LLM model sitting right here in a Raspberry Pi. And why did I say that this is something that will help you through the apocalypse? In times of when the internet and information is uncertain, it makes sense to have access to something that is a knowledge base, like an encyclopedia sitting on this device. And honestly, just to power it, you can use like a solar powered battery pack. So you will be carrying your own AI with you wherever you go, as long as you have the power of the sun, and you can be able to, you have maybe a keyboard or something. And anytime you can ask it, for example, how do I generate water with this situation? These are the conditions I'm under. So this is the power of having your own AI in your own device. So this is a Raspberry Pi 3. There's nothing to it. It's really just this chip, with this board. I know it looks a little bit fancy. That's because I purchased a case for it. The case can just come right off. This case came with a cooling fan. You don't need any of this. You just need this green bit that's sitting in here. It's got a little cool sink. And I think that's it. But you don't need any of this. You can absolutely just buy it by itself and flash the thing. So anyway, let's get started. If you're just tuning in here, Tinker Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually for 1 hour long, where we go ahead and we do anything tech. We tinker with tech. It's usually like a new GitHub repository or vibe coding. We're trying out new technology, just trying anything. Sometimes it breaks, but we always learn something. Sometimes it goes well. So today is something totally new. It's hardware. So let's take you into my screen. So bam, there we are. So Tinker Tuesdays and Thursdays, go ahead and follow me on X. I'm j.nodeops. And if there's anything you want me to try and do, DM me. Do try. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Oh, hey, Kanzi, welcome. It is a Raspberry Pi 3. Are you excited for today's stream? I am. Today we're going to be exploring, there's only one thing on the list today, and that is the Raspberry Pi Ollama Lite. This is a GitHub repository. Let me open it up for you. So this repo is interesting. Look at this. 0 forks, 0 stars. How did I find this repository? That's because this is my friend's project. And my friend is somebody I really look up to, really fantastic, and has created this very cool opportunity for us to run Common Compute operating system using Ollama Lite. So you can run a local LLM on your Raspberry Pi with a web chat UI, with one script that does everything. Now, there are instructions down here, but we are not going to follow it. Why? Because this is actually outdated. He came up with something even newer. I'll show you what those steps are. Yeah, I'm excited too, Kanzi. Welcome back. I'm excited to see you too. These are the steps I've been given from him. These are not published, and they are not public, and I am one of the first people to be trying this. He's already set up a few of these instances across Asia and India. So we are probably the first one to be trying it here in the States. So anyway, let's get started. Some of the steps are like this. We'll scroll through it real quick. We're going to flash the operating system with custom settings. We're going to use Raspberry Pi Imager. We're going to select the Raspberry Pi, select the operating system, OS Lite 64. This version does not have a desktop GUI, which makes it very light. And then we're gonna choose the storage, pick the OS, and then there's a bunch of configurations. We set it to the Wi-Fi. And the only reason it matters with the Wi-Fi is so we can SSH into it. After that, we write the settings, everything's flashed. And then, where are we? And then here's the step that really matters. We run this script. It's one line, wget, this install script, downloading this install script, placing it into this temp folder. And that's it. We should be able to speak to it by then. So let's try and do this in the next hour. Any questions? Just write it in the chat. Yeah, I'm excited too. Wait. Can we see the chat? Yes, we can. All right, let's take you into my entire screen. Okay, there we are. Sorry, this is so annoying. That's better. Okay, so the first thing first is to install Raspberry Pi Imager. If you have never worked with a Raspberry Pi Imager, it's gonna look like this. Where is it? Raspberry Pi Imager. You just go to Raspberry Pi Imager install, and the link is the first one. It's gonna be the raspberrypi.com official website. Click into it, and there's the Imager right here. You can download for Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. This is the official Imager that came out a couple years ago. Right. So the first thing we do is we select the Raspberry Pi we have. I have a Raspberry Pi 3, so it's kind of old, but it should be okay. Recommended is Raspberry Pi 4 and 5. So let's try 3. Hit next, and now we select the operating system. Now we want to select Raspberry Pi Other. So scroll past these options, come down here and choose this one, Other. Once you come into Other, you select Raspberry Pi OS 64-bit Lite. This one has no desktop environment. Okay, click into that, hit next. And so you cannot see it, but I can't pull it towards you. I have the micro SD plugged into the side of my computer. And this is the storage that we see right here. This is the micro SD. Okay, we click it, hit next, and now we give it a name. So by default, I think it's just like Raspberry Pi. This is how it shows up as a host name, but I'm gonna call it TinkerPi. An ode to Tinker. Hit next, and let's see, custom localization. I don't think this part really matters. We hit next, and then we give it a username and a password. I'm gonna call it Tinker Tuesday. Password is gonna be Thursday and Thursday. That looks good to me. Hit next. Next, this part is important because you need to connect it to the Wi-Fi. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that like in times of like catastrophe that you need Wi-Fi, but you do need a network. So this network could just be like a modem that you plug in, something you can connect, this to that. Or if you didn't have a modem, you can just actually connect a screen direct to this thing as long as you power it. But see, there's like extra USB ports, and you can connect the monitor. I think there's even, yeah, there it is, HDMI port. So you can plug in a keyboard and a monitor and even speakers right to this thing. It's really a mini computer. So this thing can actually run its own, but because we don't have all these things, that's why we're setting up this Wi-Fi network. So the Wi-Fi network I'm sitting on is, let me get the credentials. Where's my credentials? Here it is. So here's my Wi-Fi gig stream. Go back here, paste it here. And then here's my password, g.aft. And paste, and paste. Okay, that looks good to me. And we're gonna hit next. And we're going to enable SSH because we want to be able to access this once it's connected to the internet, to the network. All right. Looks good. Next. Let me know if you can't see anything, Kanzi. Or if you cannot see anything, let me know. I can make things bigger. Okay. What step are we up to? Choose storage, choose hostname. You select, yeah. Write the settings and click yes to the card. All right. We're going to hit next. And we're going to write these settings. Next. And we're going to erase all this data. Okay. Understand and erase. Give it my password. Okay. And it's starting. Now we sit back and wait. Any questions? Oh, I'm glad it's perfect. I'm glad it's perfect. All right, we're gonna let it do its thing. After it's written and the image is in that card, I'm going to take the micro SD, pop it into here. We'll turn this thing on. We'll power it up, and then we'll start SSHing into it. Good question, Kanzi. Clarification on the Wi-Fi. Is it like setting up Wi-Fi on your phone? And why do we need the Wi-Fi? Yes. Okay, so the Wi-Fi does not necessarily mean internet. The Wi-Fi just means you connect it. How do I explain this? It's like connecting it to a network that you can SSH into. When you turn on a modem or like a router, when you turn on a router, like you plug in a router into the wall, you know how like you can still see the router pop up, but when you connect to it, it has no internet? That's because it's creating a network in itself. You can connect to it, and other things can connect to it, and now other devices all point to the same router. So it's created a network in itself. That's what we're trying to do. We don't actually need Wi-Fi with this thing. The only thing we need is just to SSH, to install the GitHub content over here. But we actually don't need the internet. Once the device is running already, it should work on its own, even without the internet. We need the SSH only because we want to like have my laptop, which is sitting on this network, like assuming it's like a router, right? And then this also sitting on the same network. So if they're both sitting on the same network, I can SSH into it, jumping through the router. Yeah, exactly, like LAN. Yeah, exactly. The only reason why we need the internet first is just to set it up. But after you do this, then you just have these two, my monitor, my laptop, will just sit on the same network as this. Afterwards, you don't even need this. You can actually just connect like a monitor and a keyboard direct to the Raspberry Pi and use it this way. Yeah, exactly, like a LAN. Sorry, I could have explained it easier by just saying that. Good question. Yeah, thank you. I do explain things in a way that's a little too simple sometimes. But yeah, it's a LAN. Do you have any Raspberry Pis at home to try this with? All right, looks like it's finished. I'm gonna hit finish and then that's it. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna eject this thing. To inject it, I'm going into Finder and then clicking eject over here. Eject button. You never want to pull it out because you can risk corrupting it, which has happened to me before. So, all right, it's been fully ejected. I'm going to pull it out over here, and there it is. I'm holding it here. It's a 16 GB micro SD, and then I'm going to place it into the Raspberry Pi here. It sits down here into this little notch. So I'm going to just insert it over here, like that, and it's in. So there's the micro SD sitting there. Now I'm going to plug it into the computer to power it on. So to power it, it's very simple. I have one cable. It is a micro USB. It's old. The new versions use micro USB-C now. Yeah. So let me plug it into the power port here. And then I'm going to plug it into here. And there it is. It's turned on. The light is red. Oh, you've had experience with Raspberry Pi 3s. Very good. Okay, it's turned on, and let's give it says 60 to 90 seconds to boot, and it will connect to the network. So what is it? It's 6:18 now. Let's give it until 6:20. Yeah, wait a little bit. By the time it's booted, it should be connected to the internet, and then we will start SSHing into it. Let me pull up a terminal. Okay, so this is not the prettiest terminal, but it is iTerm, and oh my gosh, it's so weird looking. Yeah, there's something must be wrong with the settings, but nonetheless, it's still a terminal. So we're gonna SSH into it. I'm gonna give it maybe 1 more minute, but we're gonna type in SSH with the username. We call it TinkerPi at what do we call it? TinkerPi was the host name. Username was TinkerTuesday at tinkerpi.local. Yeah, I think that's it. Give it a little bit longer, make sure it's there. Kanzi said, I use the Raspberry Pi in my project sometimes in school to create an embedded systems trainer. That sounds really cool. What's an embedded systems trainer? I would like to learn more. Yeah, I've used Raspberry Pi for so many cool projects. The most fun one I like to do is Pi-hole. Pi-hole is that when they block like ads and trackers from the network level. So rather than like from the browser ad blockers, you can actually set it up in the network level. So it blocks it before it even gets to you. Okay, I think it's time. It's 6:20. The Raspberry Pi should be connected to the network. I'm going to hit enter, and we're SSHing into Tinker Tuesday at tinkerpi.local. Make this bigger. I hope this works. This is hanging a little bit. If .local doesn't work, you need to find the Pi's IP address through your router's device list. Okay, I don't have the access to the router, but I think there is a way to scan the network that I'm on. So I think I need to nmap, scan network for Raspberry Pi. Whatever it is gets connected to my network. Copy nmap. Okay, let me make a new terminal, and we will run the nmap command. And paste, enter. I don't have nmap. Install nmap to iTerm. Oh, it's just brew install nmap. So if you guys don't know what nmap is, nmap stands for network mapping. It's really useful for scanning your network for some recon, just to know what devices are connected to the network that you're on. You can see every printer, like TV, anything that's been connected, right? Any camera that's on the system, anything really. So very useful tool. So I'm going to paste that command again and hit enter. And so let me explain this a little bit. I'm not super familiar with like these flags. I'm sure they mean something. Sometimes you just need a verbose or whatever, and it'll iterate through this network mask. So I will explain this in the way that I understand it. It's not, I can't say I'm like a complete network expert, but for the most part, like this is the IP of your home. So when we talk about IPs, forget the /24, by the way. Let's just focus on the first bit. Oh, hey, Drewski. Oh, I'm so happy there's more than like 2 people here. Welcome. Today we're doing Raspberry Pi hardware stuff. But let me go back to, while it's scanning, this thing is obviously hanging, so it's not finding the Raspberry Pi that's on this network. So, what did you say? Oh, Kanzi, I have to read that right after I explain this. So the 192.168.1.0, this is pretty standard for the home address. The reason why it's the home is because I think this is the default starting point for a lot of like home networks LANs. So what routers do is they start with something like this, and then they start assigning you an IP. They give you, every device that connects to the router gives you a unique IP. This is just on the local network. You're not even connected to the internet. When you get to the internet, you have like a different IP. But this is a local IP. So IP is kind of your address of your device. So this is how the router keeps track of you. It assigns you a number. So it starts with the number 0. The 0 is itself, and it goes up to 24. But that doesn't mean 24 devices. It actually means like 255. This has something to have to do with like hexabits or whatever. 0 to 24 actually means like this number will iterate to like 255 or no, 256 bits or something like that, you know. So this means the full range. What this command is actually saying is like, I'm going to network map and scan every device and just iterate. Just look at like, it'll ping 192.161.1.1, and then it will ping .2 and .3 and so on and so forth until it hits .255. So the whole gamut until something responds back to it. And if something responds back to it, it will list it here in the terminal. Hopefully one of them is the Raspberry Pi. All right, so that's as much as I understand with the network mapping. Okay, so what did Kanzi say? I used the Raspberry Pi to demonstrate embedded systems using different sensors like the ultrasound, the motion sensor, LiDAR, etc. Demonstrate how it works. Oh, that's so cool. I love playing with hardware, something I wish I had more time for. Yeah. Oh, besides Raspberry Pis, I actually bought something else with me in case we want to play with it. I also brought these. This is an ESP32 and an ESP8266. I bought these years ago to work on like a gardening project. I wanted to automate like watering my plants, and I never actually built it, so they've just been sitting here unused. But yeah, maybe next time we can play with the other ESP32 scanner, the human scanner, the repo we saw. Okay, so looks like all 256 IP addresses were scanned and nothing came up. That's unfortunate. What can we do next? Reverse DNS lookup by devices. Let's try this one. Just gonna try the next one. Paste and scan. I'm really hoping this actually did connect to the internet, because if it's not, we may have to reflash again and make sure it's there. Ah, you used the ESP32 as well. That's awesome. You're getting lost? Sorry, Jisky. You're probably very technical when it comes to smart contracts. I would get lost if you were talking about that too. What is Raspberry Pi? Are we cooking or baking? We are cooking. We are cooking in here. We are devs cooking. Raspberry Pi is a hardware. It is basically a little mini computer. It's amazing. It looks like this. This is what it looks like as a Raspberry Pi. Oh my gosh. Here we go. And it's amazing because what is it, like $35 US? It's quite affordable, and it comes with like a good, maybe I don't know how much it costs these days, but that's how much I remember it being, $35. And basically, it's a mini computer. It does everything. You can flash like in a complete operating system, like Linux-based operating system, and then you can use it like a computer, you know, with internet and with a monitor and with a keyboard and everything. What's cool about it is that since all the components are exposed, you see these pins over here, it means that you can connect it to like sensors, like what Kanzi was saying. You know, you can connect it to like motion sensors, like GPS units, whatever, you know, gyroscopes, anything, like accelerometers. That's cool. So you can now you have a computer that also can trigger these pins. If you forget about these pins, we're not using these pins. I've got one sitting right here, by the way. What I can also do is what we're doing is we are downloading an instance of Olama, like LLM, directly onto the Pi itself. So what we did was, before you got in here, Trusky, what we did was we flashed the micro SD. It's right here, back here. Behind this thing, there's a micro SD that plugs in, and basically this is like the software that is run on this entire machine. So we flashed it, we gave it an operating system, we gave it the Wi-Fi password and the Wi-Fi name to connect to. And that's all we did so far. And then that's when you popped in. We just flashed it. We've plugged it into the thing and it's turned on. So it's sitting right here, turned on right next to me. And what it should be doing is connecting to the Wi-Fi network, the same one my laptop is on. Because they're both on the same network, I should be able to SSH into it. So right now, I'm not able to SSH into it. And we have to debug this. Because if we can't SSH into it, so the reason we want to SSH into it is because we want to download the Olama into it. This is amazing because in times of like, let's say you're in the middle of nowhere, maybe you're in a war zone, maybe you're like, you have to survive and there's no internet. Maybe you don't have access to internet or whatever. You can have an instance of Olama just sitting by itself. All you need is to power it. Maybe you can use like a solar battery. And then you would have like an entire AI LLM sitting for yourself. If you just wanted to talk to it and ask it like, how do I find food, or how do I make water? How do I, protect myself from animals or whatever? Like anything you need would be right there for the most part, an instance of AI. Maybe even for companionship if you're lonely. So you said you first connect the Raspberry Pi to another PC? Oh yeah, Kanzi said yes. Yes, you can. Before it works, yep. Yeah, we have to download the thing first. So we do need the internet first. But after the internet, then this thing can sit by itself. It's a solo device. So yeah, that is it. That's where we're at. Okay. Okay, nothing is popping up. Let me double check that I've got the right password, just for my sake. Password. Gig stream. Did I do it right? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Guys, I spelled it wrong. That's why it's not doing it. All right, let me do this again. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to unplug it from over here. I'm going to take this is the micro SD right here. This is the brains of it. And then I'm going to plug it back into my computer, and we're going to flash it again. So you get to watch the whole thing. But it'll be very fast. I'm just going to fly through it. Okay. So very easy. Here's the imager. I'm going to click Raspberry Pi 3, hit next, and then go down to Raspberry Pi OS Other, click OS Lite 64-bit. This one does not have a GUI. Hit next, click on the micro SD that is connected. That's that one. Hit next, give it a host name, Tinker Pi. Hit next. It doesn't care. I don't care where we are. Hit next. Give it a username, Tinker Tuesday. Give it a password. Let's call it Thursday and Thursday. That's the password, Thursday. Hit next. Here is where I messed up. I spelled it wrong. It's supposed to be like this. And the network password is this one. This is what happens when I get too cocky. Double check that I'm on the right one. Gig stream correct. And hit next. All right, hit next. We've enabled SSH. Okay, we're gonna hit next and right. And we're going to permanently erase what we did. Done. Password. All right, that's going. We're off to the races. Okay, Kanzi said, some of it don't need connection to other PCs, some just a screen, keyboard, or mouse, you can use it. Yep. Yeah. Now that I've disconnected it, I can show you what it looks like. So Drewski, this is a Raspberry Pi. I know it looks a little different from the pictures, but it is the same thing. It's just in a case, okay? And then the brain goes in here. And then what's cool is that like there's an HDMI port right here, so you can connect it to a monitor. And then there's a bunch of USB ports over here, so you can connect it to a keyboard. So after we flash this from the internet, this should be just a computer that you can connect to and just start using. That's it. Super cool, right? I think this is the future. I feel like everyone, in my opinion, nobody asked me, But I think that this is the future because I think that we do need a way to have our own piece of AI, just in case, you know. It's useful, like let's say you're in the middle of nowhere and you don't have access to the internet. Maybe on farmland, maybe in a small town or a village where you want to bring education to people who live off the grid. Maybe you want to like, yeah. I know you and I, we live on the internet, but I think there's a lot of parts of the world that don't have the same access to information we do. DarkSight's mother box. What is DarkSight's mother box? What are you referring to? Oh, you hope it's the future? Yes, I hope so too. Now I look up DarkSight mother box. 3 immensely powerful sentient supercomputers of apocalyptian origin using reshape or destroy worlds. These devices possess advanced AI. That's amazing. I wish it could do that. I wish it could heal injuries and then revive the dead. And it's sentient. It's a mother box. That's amazing. Forms bonds and communicates through a ping. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that amazing. Oh, that's not it? How is this not it? I typed in exactly what you wrote. Oh, yeah, no, you're just talking to Kanzi. Okay. Your talent's wasted here. Yeah. Oh, Six Aruk, you're here too. Good to see you. I also love the idea of living off the grid. For a little while, I was living in a van for like a few months. I had my own minivan and I was just like drive and travel and work from the computer, work from the van because I was working remote. And I love the idea of just like having my own battery pack and charging my computer direct from the sun, having a Starlink, and just living on the road. Superman, Man of Steel. Superman, Man of Steel. Why are we watching Superman, Man of Steel? No. I think eventually we do need to live, like just to be prepared in case of a disaster, especially when we live in a country that's not very stable. I think you and I, we all know that like information is power, and sometimes those who know more are in a better position than those who don't know. Big blue cube. Big blue cube. I'm referring to Superman, Man of Steel, cube. Oh, Justin League. Justice League? Oh, the mother box. This is what it looks like. Sentient AI. Nah, our version is just Olama, so it's going to be not very powerful, but it should get the job done if you were in a place of a disaster. So this thing can revive the dead, huh? Capabilities. Oh, we're done. Yes, we're done. Finish. Okay, now that it's been flashed, now I'm going to eject it from here. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it is already ejected. And then I pull it out of my computer. It's in my hand, and I pop it back into the Raspberry Pi. Once it's in there, I'm going to plug it into the power source. And then we're going to, again, give it 60 to 90 seconds to connect, reboot, connect to the internet, and then we're going to try SSHing into it again. Okay. Julie has it. I've got AI in my hands. That'd be so cool if one day we can actually like literally have AI in our hands. I'm saying physically, like a chip inside of us. that I could just access and be like, just maybe talk to it. That sounds like a dumb idea now that I say it out loud, but I was thinking like if we can actually physically carry a version of it inside of us and not plugged in either. Not plugged in. Maybe like a voice in our head. Call me crazy, but yeah, I know. Okay, it's 6:40. Let me try running this command now. Hit enter. And then also at the same time, I'll also do a quick scan, another Nmap scan. You guys are funny, man. I never watched something like this on my own. I never watched like superhero Marvel movies. I'm a girl, you know. I did watch this girl, Wonder Woman. I watched her movie. It was okay. I know this guy, what's his name? Aquaman or something? Am I messing it up? Yeah, Elon Musk does have a chip in the brain. Yep, it's not a crazy idea. Would you do it? What happened to this project? The last thing I remember was that they placed it in a monkey or something, and the monkey was able to control something on the screen with it. Yeah. Why are you laughing, Drewski, huh? What's so funny? What's your genre? I like rom-coms. I like zombie movies. And that's it. I like funny movies. I don't know. I'm just not crazy about like the stuff. Like superheroes don't get me. They don't get me. I don't even like Fast and Furious. I think this guy's Flash. You know, what's this guy's name? Cyborg? Am I just making up names here? I know this guy's Jason Momoa. I only know him because he's from Hawaii. Gig stream. Well, is it case sensitive? Fuck. Wait, I gotta ask. Is the Raspberry Pi SSH data case sensitive? You know it. Yep, he's Cyborg. Oh, I got it right. That's amazing. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. Yeah, I watch Zombie. I don't watch Scream. I actually don't really like horror movies that much, especially when it feels very real. Like, you know, real killers and, you know, it's too real. Elon's testing it out on the disabled, and I saw a guy could play games with it. Oh, that's amazing. They went into human testing. Hawaii, I know my people. I know my people are usually case sensitive. Wait, what? Oh, I knew it. It's probably case sensitive. So it should match exactly. Oh my God, this is so infuriating. I'm so sorry, you guys have to flash it again. This is super annoying. I should have known. You guys. Here we go again. Raspberry Pi 3. Okay, OS Lite. There it is. Tinker Pi. There's my location, Tinker Tuesday, password Thursday. Password Thursday. Is Samoa and Hawaii the same? They're not the same. Samoa is very far. Geekstream. And who the hell named this Wi-Fi Geekstream with a capital G? GIGSTREM. Okay. And here is the password. Wasn't me. Hit next, hit next, hit next, and flash. Yep. All right, that's going. Okay. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. We have 15 minutes left. I know we can do this. Right? Raspberry Pi 3, gotta try 3 times. Is Samoa and Hawaii the same? They're not the same. All right, let's do a quick geography lesson while we're waiting. Google Maps. I don't know how far it is, but it is far from each other. Let's go Samoa. Okay. There's Samoa right there in the middle of the ocean. I'm zooming out. I know it's close to Australia because it's right there. Samoa and Fiji right here. And then we're going to zoom out and I'll show you Hawaii. Okay. All right. You know your geographies, yeah? So this is Hawaii here. This is Samoa here. They're separated by the length of the entirety of like Australia. Like this is the size of Australia. This is Australia. This is New Zealand. And then there's all these like little islands right off of the coast. It's called like Papua New Guinea. Right here, the coast, there's all these little islands. And these people right here, the Solomon Islands, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, Cook Islands, French Polynesia, Bora Bora. This is like, these things are so in the middle of the ocean, it's crazy. Some of them are vacation, like Fiji is a vacation island. The Cook Islands are incredible. I've never been here, but Bora Bora is another amazing one. But they each have their own language, their own tribe, their own people. So the people who settled here, I don't know where they came from, but they all have their own tribal dances. Yes, they do actually look alike. They do look alike. And a lot of them are very good sailors. They were able to navigate their ships by following the stars. One of the earliest like sailors. They were able to sail from like island to island across each other, and they were even able to sail to Hawaii. So Hawaii has some like Samoans who have like traveled and like settled into Hawaii here. So it's just like maybe that's just like the history is fascinating, how people like stumble upon islands and they're like, okay, that's it. We're just gonna breed and settle here and then bring our own culture. So Hawaii is kind of a mixing pot. A lot of people like Samoans are big people, by the way, way bigger than the people here. Tongans and Fiji's people. Like if you meet a pure Samoan, they're like linebackers. They're giant people. Yeah, your grandpa visited the Solomon Islands. I've never been, but I'm sure it's beautiful. It's so far and hard to get out there. But yeah, Samoan people are big. When I was living in Hawaii, you can see a Samoan because they all kind of like, there's a really horrible joke the local people say. They make fun of like that there's no beautiful Samoan girl. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up because they're huge people. Like they're like linebackers with broad shoulders. Both the men and the women are like really tall, really big, very kind of like robust and fat. I think it's because back in the day, Samoa actually believed that the fatter you are, the more beautiful you are. So they actually bred like the fatter you are, the wealthier you are, the more beautiful you are, the more sexy you are. So that's why the people probably still to this day still carry the genetics to be like just really big people. Or the USO. Yeah, I'm serious. So yeah, these things didn't exist in Fiji. Fiji didn't have the standard of beauty. So the Fijian people were not as big. I'm serious, Kanzi. You can Google it. Samoan standard for beauty used to be the bigger you are, the sexier you were. You know, it's signaled. Think about it. If you were big, that meant you can afford food. You had abundance. You can afford not to move, not to work, not to exercise. So I guess it was a symbol of wealth. I think still to this day, in many cultures, a lot of what we deem popular or like trendy or things that people want to copy, it's just signals of wealth. You know, thinking back to like why do we, I don't know, wear our clothes the way our clothes look? We're just trying to copy the wealthy. You know, they're all trendsetters. Wait, I'm going into like the philosophy, but anyway, that is Samoa and Hawaii. They're very much not the same. Yeah. I really went off on a tangent there. Third time's the charm. We got 10 minutes. I just want to be able to SSH with this thing, download this thing. Oh, we're freaking done. Okay, we're gonna eject and pull out. Pulled out, going back into the machine, plugging it into the power source. Okay, give it 1 minute to connect. And I'll do another scan. That's tribal bias though. Tribal bias? What's tribal bias? Us versus them, causing individuals to favor their own group. Yeah. This shows up everywhere. Us versus them. A lot of religions also use this mentality, you know. Us versus them. Yeah. Remember the case sensitivity. Yeah, for real. I really hope this works. Okay, allow. We're gonna connect it again. It works! Guys! It found it! God, all it was the case sensitivity. Okay, we found it. It's working. I'm gonna hit yes. And we have added it to the list, and then it should pop me right into my Raspberry Pi. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm not a religious person. I wouldn't say I'm religious. I'm spiritual. I believe that if anybody asked me, I would just say I'm a basic Buddhist, you know, but which means I just follow like basic things like treat other people how you want to be treated. And oh, the password is Thursday. Enter. Oh, we're in. Look, see? From here on out, we've successfully SSH'd into the Raspberry Pi. Now, let's run the command. I can't do this fast enough. I'm literally so excited right now. Okay, we've successfully completed the step. We finally got past the step, and we're finally on step 8. So I'm going to copy this command, the wget, copy and paste. This is the part that actually needs internet because it is installing it from a GitHub raw content. It's installing the script and putting it into a temp folder. Hit enter, and that's that. Wait, do I have to run the code though? And wait, let me check with my friend. Gonna join the screen. What did he say? Go to the browser on the laptop. Go to hostnet name. It will have a chat interface. Okay. Okay. Let's try that. Let's go to tinkerpy.local. Hit enter, hit allow, and there is nothing. Do I have to run the script? Cocoa install. Oh, yep, there it is. Cocoa install. With only read and write and no execution. So I need to change mod plus X to Cocoa install. Wait, are you streaming from Hawaii? I am not. I'm not. What is WS Juliana? Are you trying to say what's up, Baruch? What's up, Juliana? I'll send you back another what's up. I'm streaming from today. I'm in Utah, so I'm near California today. Okay, so we installed the script. I'm gonna add change mod ch mod plus X. Plus X means that I'm gonna add the ability to execute it. If you look over here, the left, these are the permissions of the file. Look how it's just says RW. It means R is read, W is write. So this thing us as people can only read it and write to it. We cannot run it. We cannot execute it. It's not an executable script, even though it is. So you need to give it permissions to execute. You see how these have an X on it? It means it's executable, right? Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna run this command, hit enter. All right, so I added the X to it. Now let's take a look at the file again, right? Okay, now it's an executable. Look how instead of RW, it says RWX. Now I can execute it. So now that it's executable, I can add, it's even changed. It's turned green, right? Before it was just black. It's like saying W's in the chat. Oh, wins. Thank you guys. I feel so old when I don't understand your lingo. So thank you. That was a win. W's. Anyway, we're gonna keep winning. We're gonna run this script. We go /coco. All right. And we're gonna run the script and hit enter. Oh, I need sudo. So we can do sudo. Sudo means super user. And then we're gonna run that again, /coco .shell, hit enter. Now it's doing its thing. So W's, yay. Do you guys say W's in real life? Like when you're like hanging out with friends and you're like, oh, that's a W, you know, like that's the GOAT. Or do I sound like a loser? That's a W. We can do this. We can do this. 4 more minutes left. 4 more minutes left. If this works. No, I don't sound awkward. No. It doesn't sound awkward? So I can just say W in real life. I can be like, ah, oh, you're so cool. You're so W. We're Wing right now. It started last year. Oh, okay. It's last year. So it's trending now. I want to sound cool. That's a peak Gen Z lingo, just like typing shit to confirm. The only thing I understand is 6-7. That's it. 6-7. I remember when cap was a thing, but I don't hear that anymore. Oh my God. I'm thinking back to this Instagram reel where like a couple was breaking up with each other, but they were using lingo the whole time, like Gen Z lingo. And I was like, this is crazy. Like people actually understand each other. Now you sound awkward. Look, I'm old. I don't think you guys realize how old I am. I have so much white hair that I literally got to the point where I don't give a fuck. I'm so old that I am okay sounding weird. But now I feel a little younger, now that I know what W's mean. I know what L means. I hear that all the time. Like, oh, I took an L. I took a knee. You're from the cap era. No, I'm from way back before cap. What is my lingo? Okay. We came up with hella. HELLA. I think that was my generation. What else do we use? We used y'all are just laughing at me. I know. I'm from the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. I was born 1990. Isn't there the joke that says like, what year were you born? If it starts with 19, you're old? That's me. I'm just barely 1990s. I'm only 1 year away from 1989. I bet you guys were born in the 2000s. If your birth year starts with a 20, we're too old. We're too old for each other. but it's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm streaming because I have years of experience. You're freaking welcome. You're welcome that I'm so old. Oh, this is awesome. We're downloading Old Llama. 1 minute to go. I know. Yep. Thank you. You're not that old. Thank you. I'm young at heart. That's what I have. I know I'm going to be young forever. I'm constantly curious. I love doing new things. I probably have a little bit of ADHD, but it's manageable. I've met a lot of old people in my life, and you can tell there are some who are just very close-minded and don't want to do things, but there are some that, like, for example, all right, here's how I meet people. When I meet people, I immediately start asking them questions, and I'm very curious, naturally curious. When I talk to old people, they love talking about their past. They love it. They love talking about the past. But there are some old people that literally don't want to talk about the past because they don't want to reminisce. They don't give a shit about the past. The past is the past. They'd rather talk to you about something in the future. Those are the people that are the smartest. I'm not saying, like, it's not good to reminisce. If you think those are the best years of your life, by all means, I love to hear your stories. You're full of wisdom. But there's definitely some people that I've met that do not want to talk about themselves. They want to build with you. They want to grow with you. They want to have a back and forth conversation with you, and they don't want to do a one-way story time. Young forever is the goal, yeah. Baruch is 45. He looks young and healthy. Are you really 45? Drewski, Baruch, are you really 45? Dude, if you're really 45, so much respect for you. You're spilling facts for real. Okay. So anyway, the back and forth, I meet for the people who are most brilliant. I think they are like, they work for NASA. They design spacesuits and stuff. These people don't care how old they are. They're just like on this mission to do as much in life and learn things. And they have this like curiosity with the way they view the world. Are you guys seriously 45? Yeah, that's a joke. Oh. Y'all can tell me you're like 12 and I would believe you. Oh my God, please. I just want to get to the end of this. We had so many setbacks. Oh, wait, yeah. So you asked me if I was like religious. I'm spiritual. It just means I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. I don't try and I don't follow any dogma or rituals. Do I believe there's an afterlife? Do I believe there's a God? Do I believe that there's a ghost? Yes. I don't know what that looks like, but I do believe that there's something. There's just way too many freaky, scary stories. I'm also scared of ghosts. I don't want to see any ghosts, but I do believe that there's like an other realm that we can't physically touch or see. There's too many crazy stories about that. And things that just maybe we don't understand. No way anyone here is 12. You're year 2000, Drewski? Wait, what does that make you? That would make you 26 this year? That makes you exactly 10 years younger than me. 29, 26. And how old are you, Kanzi? I think Kanzi is the youngest. Yeah, I believe there are realms. Do I believe there are aliens? All right, here's how I define aliens. I think aliens are extraterrestrial life forms, means things that are not from this planet that we're on that exist outside of this planet. And that can be in the form of bacteria. So by that definition, yes, I believe aliens do exist. I believe there are extraterrestrial life forms because the conditions for Earth to exist, if you look at like what had to happen for life to exist, the perfect conditions to breed us. Yeah, I knew you were the youngest, Kanzi. You were 24, only because of the stories you've shared, when you graduated and how much work you've done. I knew you were in your early 20s. So you're the youngest. You're the baby. I didn't think you were 15, though. So yes, I do believe in aliens. Because like there has to be, the universe is so big, you know, looking at the other star systems, the galaxies, there must be some other planet that had similar conditions. If it's as infinite as is being described in a way that we cannot even fathom, then there's a non-zero chance that there is some situation somewhere in this planet, this universe that's supposedly constantly expanding. By the way, the expanding space theory, there must be another Earth. When I say Earth, another place that had the same conditions for life form to form. What that looks like, I don't know. But look at the life form on Earth itself. Like this, look at the ocean and the animals that have existed. They're incredible. The diversity, the animals that we still have not discovered. I think like a whole bunch of the ocean is undiscoverable still. So there's still species to be discovered. There are plants that are still being discovered, you know. Religion dogma limits our scope. I mean, they stopped Galileo when he wanted to research the stars. We're living on a flying rock with a stone hanging over our head called sun. To some extent, religious dogma. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are all just living on the same planet. Yeah. For only a brief period of time, too. You look at the scope of like how long our lifespan is versus how old the earth is. We're nothing. Our lifespan here, if we get to live to like 80, 90 years old, is nothing. There are conspiracy theory that we're not alone in the universe. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally non-zero chance. Oh, it's done. What does it say? Install complete run Olama from the command line. Olama. Yes. Okay, let me come over here. We have an Nginx server happening. Is that what we wanted to do? How have a chat room? Okay, so there's no chat interface, but I can do this. So I can chat with it or launch Claude Code, which is not installed, or launch Pi. No, let's chat with the model. Hit enter. And the model we want to talk to is, these are not downloaded. Minimax is downloaded. GLM is downloaded. Quen and Kimi are downloaded. So which one should we choose? Fast, efficient coding. If you were stuck in the middle of nowhere and you need to survive, what would you choose? Let's do Kimi. Multimodal reasoning with subagents. Or GLM5 Cloud. Let's do this one. Reasoning. Navigate to this link. Is that true? Copy. Paste. What the hell? These were not in the instructions. What are we doing? Connecting TinkerPie with my account. I have successfully connected. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't see you. I would have chosen Kimi. I would have done Kimi. Oh, we're ready. Let's chat with it. Okay, let's do slash. Let's do slash question mark. Let's say hello. Why is it speaking Chinese to me? 你好，我是 GLM ZI, and then it says a bunch of, what the hell is this? Happy to meet you. My name is GLM. Okay, can you speak English? Oh, thank you. This is awesome. If the internet is truly down, then how do we chat with the model since it requires the internet? I think we have to download the model first from the internet. This is why you should pre-download your AI models and have that ready in case of a disaster, right? Just keep this in. Yeah, 你好. Why did it immediately go into Chinese? That was so funny. Did it know I was Chinese? How did it know? Use Kimi for speed and large information processing, but still the worst. What? Let's see. Let's imagine if let's do /0 question mark. See what happens. Oh, nothing. Right. Let's say it's a case of a disaster. I need to find water. I am stuck on a stranded. I'm stuck. I am stranded in the forest. I need water. What are steps I can take to acquire water? Ooh. Okay. Look for natural sources. Follow the insects, especially bees. Bees typically stay near water. Look for bird flights. Watch where they fly. Okay. Always purify water by boiling at least 1 minute. How can I purify water without boiling it? It's cool. I was learning Mandarin in Duolingo. That's awesome. How good are you on Duolingo? We should be Duolingo friends. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Solar disinfection. Fill clear plastic bottles with water. Place in direct sunlight for 6-hour minimum. UV rays will kill most harmful microorganisms. That's so cool. You can filter with gravel, sand, charcoal. Pour water over the layers. Repeat for better results. You can do a natural method. Dig a hole near a water source and let groundwater seep in. This is awesome. I know Chinese. I speak Cantonese fluently. Lei Ho. Lei Ho is ni hao. Wo hai Juliana. My name is Juliana. 我今日教你點用 AI. That means today I'm teaching you how to use AI. So let's actually ask it some of the questions you're asking me. Are you religious? By the way, this is after I ask these questions, we're going to end the stream. It says, no, I don't have religious beliefs. As an AI model, I don't have faith or spirituality. However, I'm knowledgeable about many religions. Let's ask, are there aliens, aka extraterrestrial living organisms? Wait, do aliens exist? Send your user and I'll be sure to get back, although I strayed. Yeah. What is my username? I'll DM you. I have not strayed. I've been a loyal user of Duolingo every single day for 5 years. You can check my stats. Let's see. It says, no definitive evidence yet. No alien civilizations have been found. Maybe nothing that seems like us. Discovery of many are considered probable. Yep. Here's that line. Many scientists consider extraterrestrial life probable given the universe's scale. It's just so big that the chances of it existing is like 1. Area 57. Yes. Ongoing research. Wow. Anyway, the next step is to unplug this thing and disconnect it from the Wi-Fi. And then we should have this thing just running on its own. Actually, let me see if I can try that real quick. Maybe I'm Raspberry Pi, how to delete ID information. If it's easy, I'll do it. If not, I won't. Oh, I can just edit this file. etcw applicant. Let's go exit /by and then exit to exit. Let's go to /etc Okay, and then going to cd wpa supplicant ls. What do I have? Oh, there is no conf file. wpa ls-la. Yeah, it's not here. In OS Lite. You're kidding, right? Every single day for 5 years? That's correct. Every single day for 5 years. Yeah, I got proof too. Duolingo don't lie. Oh, sudo manage connections deleted from etc network management. Okay, cd etc cd network management ls la cat network manager conf. Is that right? No, system connections. System connections ls-la. There's nothing in here. Oh, edit a connection. This one. I can delete it. How do I delete this? Show. Cancel. Delete. Delete. Yes. If you can do that, I'll commit to 2 months straight. Dude, you should be speaking Mandarin to me in 2 months. I just realized if I delete this, I can't SSH into it anymore. That's it for today's stream. It was super awesome hanging out with you guys. Let me pop back to the other screen so you can see my mean mug. Here we are. That is it for our stream. Today, what we did was we installed an instance of Olama into a Raspberry Pi. We flashed it 3 times. We learned that the SSID is indeed case sensitive, so we wasted like 30 minutes. That was a good lesson. So it's working. We were able to chat with it. And now that I've deleted the connection, all I have to do is, in theory, just talk to it. So the entire model is sitting here, Kimmy, as well as the others, they're there. Learning a new language helps your brain think like polymath. I also heard that learning another language gives you another personality. Apparently, like the language that it sits in is different. Just like how they did this thing called, they did a study on like who was dyslexic. Like if you have dyslexia, you can read English, but like the words are backwards, right? The letters are backwards. But because dyslexia affects like the words, when you go to like other languages like Chinese, for example, the characters, it's not a character, it's a visual thing. It's a different part of the brain that understands Chinese characters. So dyslexia, actually, people who have dyslexia cannot read this, but they can read Chinese characters. So very interesting. Cantonese and Mandarin, are they the same? They are not the same. They use the same characters, but speaking-wise, they sound very different. Consistency. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Yeah, here it is. Appreciate it. It was really fun. Let me know what you want to see next time. Maybe we could do more hardware stuff. I still have this ESP32 sitting here, so we can try that again. So have a good rest.